Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You can all sing with me, keeping yourselves on mute. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Hare Krishna to everybody. Welcome to our new session today. Hope you... Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna. Hope you are doing fine. So what we will do is today we will... Hare Krishna. So what we shall do is we will continue with the song of Narsimha prayer, and then we quickly learn a shloka. And the story is a little big, so I'll try to spend more time on the story today. All right. So I'm going to screen share this song. You can all have a look at the song. Can you all see the screen?
Yes, Mataji. Mataji.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
So I request you all to keep yourselves on mute. I'm going to sing, and then after that, I can ask you to sing. First, let me sing first. So you can all hear carefully for those who don't know the song. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahalada Daine. Prahalada Daine. Hiranyakashi पूर्वक्षः हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वक्षः शीलाढङ्कान् खलाये शीलाढङ्कान् खलाये इतो नृसिंहः परतो नृसिंहो इतो नृसिंहः परतो नृसिंहो यतो यतो यामि ततो नृसिंह यतो यतो यामि ततो नृसिंह बहिः नृसिंहो हृदये नृसिंहो बहिः नृसिंहो हृदये नृसिंहो नृसिंहमाधिं शरणं प्रपदे नृसिंहमाधिं शरणं प्रपदे. So I'm going to sing this again because this is a new verse I'm teaching you. Ito nrisimha parato nrisimho yato yato yami tato nrisimha bahe nrisimho hridaye nrisimho nrisimha madim sharanam prapade तव करकमलवरे नखा अद्भुत शृंगा दलित हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्घम् तव करकमलवरे नखमद्भुत शृङ्गाम् दलित हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्घम् केशवधृत नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृत नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे. The song is over, but before I ask anybody to sing, I will just read the meaning for you. So this Namaste Narasimhaya Prahaladaladaayine Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha Shilatankana Kalaye. So what does the meaning say? I offer my obeisances to Lord Nrsimha, who gives joy to Prahlad Maharaj, whose nails are like chisels on the stone-like chest of the demon Hiranyakashipu. So I will tell you the story later on. So you can just understand that this Hiranyakashipu was in the form of half man, half lion, and his nails were like chisels, like stone-like, on the stone-like chest. So actually he killed Hiranyakashipu with his sharp nails. Then Ito Nrsimha Parato Nrsimho, Yato Yato Yami Tato Nrsimho, Bahir Nrsimho, Hrudaye Nrsimho, Nrsimha Madim Sharanam Prapade. What is the meaning? Oh Lord Nrsimha is here and also there. Wherever I go, Lord Nrsimha is there. He is in the heart and is outside as well. I surrender to Lord Nrsimha the origin of all things and the supreme refuge. So Narsimha is present everywhere. Tavakara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tano Bringam Keshavadruta Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadishare. The meaning is, O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a half man, half lion, all glories to you. With the wonderfully sharp nails of your beautiful lotus hands, you have ripped apart the wasp-like body of Hiranyakashipu. So here, we all can sing this song every day. For what? So that wherever we are out of danger. See, Krishna has many forms. Nrsimhadev is one of the beautiful forms of Lord Krishna. Okay, so this is a very beautiful form, and we can always pray whenever we are going outside the house, or you're going to write an exam, or you're in fear of something. You can always pray to Lord Nrsimha. He's very, very merciful, and he protects his devotees. So you can sing this beautiful prayer. Even before sleeping, you can sing this beautiful prayer. And Krishna will protect you from all kinds of fearful dreams, fearful demons, anything fearful. Krishna is there to protect us. So this form is very auspicious. Anybody knows the Nrsimhadev's form is very famous? Anybody knows the famous Nrsimhadev temples around India?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, which place? Can you tell?
Ahobilam.
Ahobilam, super. Yeah.
Mataji in Madurai.
Oh my God, what's that noise? You have to cool down. Yes, one by one. If you can raise your hand, it will be the best. Yes, Chitrashri, which place? Yes, Riyansh, any other place,
Mataji, may I? Kadri.
Yes.
Kadri and Ahobilam.
Yes, Ahobilam. Any other place?
Mataji, Singaperumal temple in Chennai.
Yeah, Singaperumal in Chennai. Then any other place?
Simhachalam.
Simhachalam, very nice. In Mayapur also there's a very Ugra Nrsimha. Then somewhere near Salem. Which place is that?
Mataji, in Madurai also one temple is there, Mataji.
Madurai also. Then there is...
Ma'am, also in Bengaluru, Malleshwaram, near Malleshwaram, Lakshmi Narasimha temple is there.
Oh, okay. And also Namakkal Narasimha is very famous.
Mataji.
Yes.
Near Kanchipuram also, Lakshmi Narasimha temple.
We have temples everywhere. I request everybody to mute yourselves because it's disturbing the others. Okay, so there's so many wonderful temples of Lord Nrsimhadev, and Nrsimhadev is there to protect us all. So remember that. So let's maybe you can just I can send this song in the group, and maybe you can all next class we can sing each one of us. All right. So let's go directly to the new story, new shloka today. Revision, because the story is big, as I told you. So we can spend more time on the story. It's on Lord Nrsimhadev, of course. So we can stress more on the story today. So today's shloka is also a beautiful prayer of Prahlad Maharaj to his friends. Actually, he's advising his friends on how to serve Lord Krishna. So this is from Canto number 7, shloka, chapter number 5, shloka number 23 and 24. So what you can do is, it's okay, you don't have the shloka, you can just hear carefully. It's a very, very easy shloka, and you can learn it very easily. So again, I told you the key to learning the shloka is concentration, hands folded, keeping your ears and eyes concentrated. Please don't get distracted. So today, these days, all of us there's so many things to get distracted. Something will pop up in your screen. You have the your keyboard there, clicking on different things. So please don't do that. We are learning something very serious here about Lord Krishna. So let's spend this 1 hour, concentrating, spend it on, hearing about Lord Krishna. Okay. So I hope you all are ready. Okay. So this is very nice shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam. The shloka goes like this. Shri Prahrada Vacha Shravanam. I will say it 3 times. Many of you will be already knowing the shloka. It's okay, but you can just revise it again. Shravanam, Shravanam, Shravanam. So Shravanam, I'll just side by side tell you the meaning. So that's easy to remember. Shravanam means hearing. Kirtanam, Kirtanam, Kirtanam. Kirtanam as usual chanting. So Shravanam, Kirtanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Shravanam, Kirtanam. Vishnoho. Vishnoho means of Lord Vishnu. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoho. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoho. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoho. Next, Smaranam, Smaranam, Smaranam. Smaranam means remembering. Smaranam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoho. Smaranam, Padasevanam, Padasevanam, Padasevanam. Padasevanam means of serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay, so Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoho, Smaranam, Padasevanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoho, Smaranam, Padasevanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoho, Smaranam, Padasevanam. So who likes to try these 2 lines can raise your hand and then I'll give you a chance. Yes,
Mataji.
you have to raise your hand and show me that sign in your that sign icon, then I can help you. Yes, Chitrashri, go ahead.
Prahalada Uvacha Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnuhu Smaranam Padasevanam.
Thank you. Yes, Santoshini.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Prahalada Uvacha Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnuhu Smaranam Padasevanam.
Thank you. Very nice. Riyansh, yes.
Shravanam Prahalada Vacha Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam.
Superb. Yes. Yes, Durga Shri, please go ahead.
Yes, Mataji. Shri Prahlada Uvacha.
Shravanam.
Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho Smaranam Padasevanam.
Thank you. Yes, Arvind. Arvind Karthik. Shravanam.
Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho
Smaranam.
Smaranam
Pada.
Padasevam
Sevanam.
Devanam
Sevanam. Pada Sevanam.
Padasevanam.
Very nice. Thank you. Yes, Ruba Krishna.
Audio options.
Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnuhu
Vishnuho
Smaranam. Smaranam.
Smaranam Padasevanam.
Thank you. Yes, yes, Vijay.
Smaranam Kirtanam Vishnu.
Smaranam.
Smaranam Kirtanam Vishnuho Smaranam Padasevanam.
Thank you. It's Smaranam. Okay, Smaranam. Smaranam. Smaranam is remembering about Lord Krishna. Okay, let's go to the next line. Anybody else who have missed out? You want to say the shloka?
No, Mataji.
Okay, all right. Okay, next line. So, Shravanam Kirtana. Please again concentrate on, just fold your hands and sit erect. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho Smaranam Padasevanam. Next line. Archanam, Archanam, Archanam. So, Archana is offering worship, you know, the Archana we show to the deities. Then, Archanam, Vandanam. Vandanam is offering prayers. Like now we are going to reciting this prayer for Krishna. See, when you learn the shloka and you recite it every day for Krishna, he is pleased. So, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam. Dasya means becoming servant of the Lord. Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam. Sakyam means becoming a friend of the Lord, best friend. Atmanivedanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Atmanivedana means surrendering everything we have to Lord Krishna, giving everything. We should not have any desires but just to serve Lord Krishna. That is called Atmanivedanam. So, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Anybody who likes to try, please raise your hand. Yes, Chitrashri?
Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam.
Super, very good. Yes, Harishka?
Shri Prahalada Uvacha Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam.
Oh, very nice. It's Dasyam, no, it's Dasyam. Okay. Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Very nice. Riyansh, yes, go ahead.
Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam
Dasyam, Sakyam.
Sakyam Atmanivedanam.
Very nice. Anybody else? Yes, Durga Shri?
Yes, Mataji.
Go ahead. Prahrada.
Shri Prahlada Uvacha Shravanam Kirtanam Vishno Smaranam Pada Sevanam
Archanam.
Archanam Vandanam Dashyam Sakyam
Sakyam.
Satyam
Sakyam, not Satyam. Sakyam. Sakyam means friend.
Sakyam
Atmani.
Atmani Devam
Atmanivedanam.
Atmanivedanam.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Yes, who else? Ruba Krishnan? Sorry. Anybody else who likes to say the shloka?
Yes, Mataji.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Who is-
Mataji.
Who is this? What is your name?
Mataji, my name is Tarun Kothari.
Okay, please go ahead, Tarun Kotari. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Shri Prahlada Uvacha Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam
Archanam.
Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam.
Thank you. Very nice. Thank you very much. Yes. Anybody else who wants to take? Yes. Yes, Vijay Kumar. Shri Prahara.
Shri Prahlada Uvacha
Shravanam.
Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnuho
Maranam.
Smaranam
Padas.
Padasevanam
Archanam.
Archanam Bandhanam Daksyam
Sakyam.
Sakyam
Atmani.
Atmani Videvam.
Atmanivedanam. Thank you. Yes, Loknath. Loknath and
Mataji, I am
yes, please tell Loknath.
Sarvamam.
No,
Sarvam.
Shravanam.
Sarvanam.
No, Shravanam. Shravanam. Shravanam means hearing.
Sarvanam. Kirtanam. Vishnuho. Smaranam.
Pada.
Sevanam.
Archanam.
Archanam.
Vandanam.
Vandanam.
Das.
Dasyam.
Sakyam.
Satyam.
Sakyam. Sakyam means friend. Sakha. Sakyam.
Atmani Vedanam.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ovia, please try. Ovia, you want to try? Please go ahead. Okay, so now let's read the meaning of the shloka. What Prahlad Maharaj is trying to tell us. Okay, this is a very... Ovia, you want to try? Okay, so what Prahlad Maharaj is telling in the shloka is, Prahlad Maharaj said, hear carefully, okay? Hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord's one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. In other words, serving him with the body, mind and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. So what Prahlad Maharaj is saying is those who are into hearing, chanting, then offering prayers to the Lord, surrendering himself to the Lord, then worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord, being his friend, Sakyam, and giving whatever he has to the Lord, then he is considered to be full of knowledge. Not that you do PhD, in material world, you try to become a doctor. Okay, this is all material position we all have, becoming a doctor, becoming a scientist. But Krishna doesn't see all that. He sees how much you have surrendered, how much love you have for him. This is what Krishna is watching, So if you take one step, if you take one step towards Krishna, Krishna takes 100 steps towards you. So Krishna is only seeing, he doesn't see how much riches you have, how much, beauty you have. He's only seeing how much love and dedication you have towards him. So this is what Krishna, this is what you should have actually to go back to Krishna. So once Prahlad Maharaj is saying, if these things you have, then automatically you are understood to be very learned and you have acquired complete knowledge. Okay. So we all should try, each one of us. So I was telling you also this Ambarish Maharaj, he was also all the time, using different, his body, mind, words in thinking about Krishna, right? Then Dhruva Maharaj also, he was praying. And after he had actually prayed for the kingdom, he thought that, oh my God, how foolish that I prayed for something material. What he thought? Oh, I just want to be serving Lord Krishna's lotus feet. And same thing, Prahlad Maharaj is an exalted devotee of Lord Krishna. And he also prays that Krishna, I do not want anything else but to surrender unto your lotus feet. So this is what beautiful prayer in Bhagavatam we see. Each one of the stories when we hear, we should know that it is having something to tell us, and we should learn from this story that again, we should not actually have any material desires. Material desires means what? Something which is not going to be temporary, Everything in this world is not temporary. Nothing is, including our body. Our body also has to go away one day. When we get old or we have some disease, we have to leave this body. So there's nothing permanent in this material world. The only permanent place is Lord Krishna's abode. And we all are permanent only if we are with Krishna. Otherwise, there's only repeated birth. And how much of our material desires are growing in our heart, that many bodies we have to continuously take to fulfill that desires. And desires are unlimited, right? You all know that, right? So it's best to divert all our desires that we please Krishna. That should be our only desire. Okay. So I know it looks very difficult, but still for our age, we can channelize our mind and thoughts, that all the time we think about Krishna and always think of way which will please Krishna. I was also telling you that even suppose we get a flower from somewhere, you know, you like, girls generally they like to tie it in their hair. But best thing is first offer it to Krishna. So this pleases Krishna. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. So even something small, you like to eat something, you know, something very tasty like gulab jamun. What best is to make it, offer it to Krishna, and then you take it as prasadam. So practically, this is how we use it in our day-to-day life, you know, how we think about Krishna and being Krishna conscious. So slowly when we do this, you know, so we develop love for Krishna, and at the same time, all our desires get purified. So this is the best way we can do that. Offer whatever we have for the pleasure of the Lord. So is it difficult? No. So are you all doing something like that every day, which helps you remember Krishna?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. So what? So,
Mataji.
so what? Oh, okay. So what is it that you do something that what you did today, you know, that helped you remember that?
Chanting.
Okay, you're chanting every day.
chanting.
Very nice. Very good. And what else?
Offering food to Lord.
Offering bhoga to Krishna. Very nice. So this pleases Lord. And
Reading books.
reading which books? Kumadan.
Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, reading Bhagavatam and Bhagavad. So did you read today something that that made you remember Lord Krishna?
Yes, Mataji.
That is very nice. Okay, and this is also weekend, so you can go and visit nearby Krishna temples. So then again, you sit and hear some nice songs about Krishna. You see Krishna's form, or sit in the evening and you can sing beautiful arti for Lord Krishna. So and then whatever you eat, as you said, that you can offer to Krishna, that you know it helps you remember Krishna. Okay, that is very nice.
Mataji, we have to not go out
Why?
because of coronavirus.
Of Corona, it's still there around you, is it?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes,
very-
Mataji.
Oh, but here in Salem, I am visiting temple every day. So it's okay, but still you can sit at home and sit in front of your altar where you have your beautiful temple, and you can sing for the pleasure of the Lord. Yeah? All right. So, okay.
Mataji.
Yeah. Okay. So what we will do is today we will hear this beautiful story of Lord Nrsimha Dev, because we started off with this Nrsimha prayer. So I thought that I know many of you already know the story of Lord Nrsimha Dev, but still again, it's nice to remember Lord Nrsimha, right? It's nice to remember his pastime and about his wonderful devotee Prahalad. It's nice to hear about them. Even if you hear it 100 times, and I may be also telling this story for more than, 200, 300 children. Every time when I tell this story, it's never boring, because Krishna's pastimes are transcendental. And every time we hear, and every time I read this story, I learn something new from that story. So it should be same with you all, that the Krishna stories are never going to get bored. The more you hear, the more you feel more happy hearing the story of different pastimes of Lord Krishna. Maybe even killing of Putana, we might have heard so many times, or killing of Aghasura, or Krishna stealing butter. But still, every time we hear, it brings a smile in our face, right? We don't say, oh, we know this story, it's so boring. It's not like that. So because Krishna's stories are always transcendental. Even the Hare Krishna mantra, I was telling you, the more we chant, the more happy we feel. It's not that, oh, this mantra we are reciting every day. It's not like, it's not mundane. It's very spiritual, and at the same time, it gives us a lot of pleasure. Okay, so here is a story. So I'll just give you a short brief of what happened before this story of Hiranyakashipu. Was Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, they were two big demons. And I'm just telling this story in short so that we can go into the story of Prahlad Maharaj. So Hiranyaksha was a very big demon, these two brothers. So once Hiranyaksha, he actually stole, I'll tell you this story in detail later on, that he actually, he captured Mother Earth, and he took the earth and stole her and kept her below the water. So all the demigods, they went to pray to Lord Vishnu that to help them, because Mother Earth is suffering and she's below the water, hiding in, and he kept her in a very hiding place, secluded place so that no one will come to know. See, demons, they always do something which destroys everybody's happiness and peace. So demons are generally, they are, they always try to create havoc. So, and Krishna and his devotees, Krishna always comes to protect his devotees. So then Krishna, he takes the form of, he takes the form of a boar. And what he does, he immediately he kills Hiranyaksha, and then that is the form of a boar is Varaha Avatara, and he saves Mother Earth. So this is a short story. So what happens after killing Hiranyaksha? Hiranyakashipu, the brother of Hiranyaksha, he gets very, very angry because Vishnu actually killed Hiranyaksha. So he wanted to take revenge, basically. So for taking revenge, what he does, he says, I will go into the forest and I'm going to do big tapasya, I'm going to heavy penances to please Lord Brahma so that I get the post of even Lord Brahma. He said, I don't want to get any small post. I want to, because Brahma is the original living being, and because he is the original living entity, he is much superior to any other demigod. So he says, I want the post even greater I want the post of Lord Brahma. So I want to do severe penance. And when I get that position, I can keep everybody under my control, and then I can take revenge over Lord Vishnu. So he was very, very angry because Vishnu killed his brother. So what happens? Hiranyakashipu, he does severe tapasya, severe austerities, and then he puts one hand like this on top and one standing on one leg. It's very difficult to stand for like this for years and years for doing tapasya. And then, but he took that position just to get that power, So doing this, he started, because he was in complete trance, and started eating his body. And slowly the ant hill, you have seen ants hill when you travel to different forest areas, or some, lot of thick, where there are a lot of plants, you can see ant hills growing like this in a, in a triangular shape. So what happened? This ant hill was getting formed over the body of Hiranyakashipu, and then you could see fire blazing everywhere, and the whole place was getting really hot, and the whole bhumi was actually shaking. And seeing this condition, the demigods got really frightened, and what they did, they immediately went to Lord Brahma and they said, Brahma, see, Hiranyakashipu is doing heavy penance, heavy penance, and seeing this, and we are all getting very frightened. What is going to be the outcome? See, and they're saying that what the demigods had to say to Lord Brahma was, in case Hiranyakashipu gets all the power and he gets really powerful. See, Hiranyakashipu is demon. He's not demigod. So demons, they always think against anything good. They don't think good, actually. They think of, mostly they think of destruction. So what happened? Hiranyakashipu, if he comes into position, then he said all the Vedic scriptures, all the Brahmanas, they will not have protection. And similarly, all the cows, because cows and Brahmanas are to be protected according to Lord Krishna. So he says that even the cows will not have protection. The Brahmanas will, and then, everything, when these are not protected in society, then automatically there is no peace in the society. So you can see even today's, big politicians, they do not have faith in God. So because they do not have faith in God, they naturally call asuras. And asuras means there's no protection to women, there's no protection to cow, there's no protection to Brahmanas. So then imagine the society, how it will be. The society is complete havoc. So similarly, what happens? So they're all the demigods are going to Lord Brahma, and they are completely under fear. So Brahma says, don't worry, immediately I will go and see what can be done. So what happens? Brahma immediately goes, and almost when Hiranyakashipu's tapasya was almost going to get over, Brahma goes there, and then he was very pleased with Hiranyakashipu, naturally, because Hiranyakashipu was worshipping Lord Brahma, and so he immediately sprinkled some water. And once Hiranyakashipu was sprinkled with water, his body became very luxurious, it became very luxurious. He became completely bright, strong. All his, I was telling, his body was almost eaten by ants, but everything was became looking like a strong man, and then he looked very bright. And Brahma said, oh, Hiranyakashipu, I'm very pleased with your penance. I'm very pleased with your tapasya. So tell me what benediction I can give you so that you are very happy. So then Hiranyakashipu was waiting for this chance. He wanted to be as powerful as Brahma, you know, he wanted the position. So what did he ask? He asked that, I do not want to face death. You know, I don't want to die, basically. So Brahma says, oh, Hiranyakashipu, this is not possible because see, I am Brahma, but I also have to die one day. You know, my life is only for 100 years of span. Lifespan is only 100 years. So it's not possible that I give you something which I don't have, right? Unless you are, except for Lord Vishnu, everybody has to die. Whoever's in the material world, they have to die. So Brahma is also in the part of the material world. So he says that I cannot give you this boon. So ask for something else. So Hiranyakashipu immediately says, okay, so Brahma, you could. So he thought, you know, Hiranyakashipu thinks that, okay, I should intelligently ask something in which I cannot die at all. So what boon he asked? I should not die by any living creature created by Lord Brahma. So he is very intelligent. What did he say? Anything created by Lord Brahma should not kill me. I should not die like that. I should not die inside the house or outside the house, nor in the day, nor in the night, nor in the sky, nor in the ground. Then he said, not by any weapon. Then not by human, not by animal. Then he should not be dead by any demigods or any of his competitors or any rivals. I should not be killed by any demons, any snakes. So this is so many, you know, or by any mystic power. So this is by so many ways, you know, he made it in a way that he can never die. So seeing this, Brahma said, okay, all this is possible. I will give you blessing. So see, sometimes blessings of demigods become, you know, it becomes like a very difficult thing. Like there is one story where Lord Shiva, one demon, he says that he asked Lord Shiva for one boon that anybody, in anybody's head, I touch my hand, then they will become into ashes. And Lord Shiva becomes very pleased. He says, okay, I granted this boon. And then what happens? This demon, what he says? No, let me try it on Lord Shiva first. So he says, Shiva, I want to try it on you first. I will keep in your head my hand and let me see you get into ashes. And Lord Shiva had to run. Oh my God. And then he went to shelter of Lord Krishna, and Lord Vishnu had to help him in the end. So similarly, Lord Brahma, he gave all this boon. Now it is Krishna has to think, oh my God, how to take a body in which I can kill the demon, but I should, you know, try to not disturb all these blessings of Lord Brahma. So Krishna is now thinking what to do. Brahma said, okay. They say it very easily. Then Krishna has to now decide what has to be done. So Hiranyakashipu, he becomes very happy. And getting all this boon, what he'll do, a demon. See, when you get power, then, and you don't know how to use it, then you will use it in the wrong way. Similarly, Hiranyakashipu, he became so strong and so powerful because he couldn't be killed by anybody. And then he started disturbing everybody. He actually started uprooting all the trees and all the plants, which is not good. Only demons do that. And he wanted to do big development. And this you can see even in today's world, you know, like Hiranyakashipu, even if the government is not good, then like Hiranyakashipu, they want to break down all the trees and have beautiful buildings. But it's not good. Even every tree has life, and tree gives us so many, it helps us in so many ways. So unfortunately today all the trees are getting cut. Similarly, he took the position of Lord Indra's planet, and he says that he will stay in Lord Indra's planet. And all the demigods, all the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, the Kinnaras, and all the Brahmanas, everybody were completely frightened because they did not allow him to worship Lord Vishnu. He was not allowing anybody to worship Lord Vishnu. He was asking everybody, actually not asking, he was threatening everybody that everybody has to worship him, otherwise he would kill them. So everybody was completely afraid, and at the same time all the demigods had to worship him. They had to put their heads down to Hiranyakashipu, otherwise he would chastise them for no reason. So everybody was completely frightened. So seeing all this, you know, all the demigods were completely, they didn't know what to do, and they were praying to Lord Vishnu, what has to be done. So suddenly a voice comes from the sky, and they say that, oh demigods, don't have to worry. just keep praying to me, praying to Lord Vishnu, chanting his names. You all keep doing that. And when time comes right, then I will come and kill Hiranyakashipu. So there Krishna is giving chance to Hiranyakashipu, that seeing that he will change one day, or there will be a time, there is one, you have some patient level, and when the patience level goes off, then Krishna is going to come there to kill Lord. So he says, that voice from above says that, oh demigods, please be cool, wait patiently, and when time comes right, everything will be everything will happen. That is, Hiranyakashipu will die. So what happens? So then, so what happens is that, again, the voice again says that there will be a time when Hiranyakashipu will be troubling his son so much, or chastising, or creating so much trouble to his son, who was very, very calm and peaceful, that that he will be a very big devotee. That is Prahlad Maharaj. He will be a very nice devotee of mine. And when Hiranyakashipu creates so much cause of pain to Prahlad Maharaj, I will come and kill him. So all the demigods get assured that, okay, fine, there's going to be a time when Hiranyakashipu will die. So let's be patient for the time being. So what happens? Hiranyakashipu, actually what happens? He has 4 sons. And in that, one son was Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj was, his qualities were so nice that you cannot compare to any other person. He was such a great devotee of Lord Krishna, and he was having so many beautiful qualities. He was calm, he was peaceful, always chanting about Lord Krishna. He never had any enemies, and he was constantly remembering the holy name of Krishna. So, a devotee of Krishna has always good qualities. They are very patient, they never tell lies. They are always sober, calm, peaceful, truthful, and clean, and they have no enemies. So these are some of the good qualities which a devotee of Lord Krishna is having. So when Prahlad Maharaj, when his time, he was only a 5-year-old child, and there was, at the age of 5, Hiranyakashipu wanted to put his son in school, and wanted to make him learn about different aspects of education, so that he can take over and be a greatest demon in the world like his father. So Hiranyakashipu, he appointed 2 gurus. So this guru, Hiranyakashipu, had one priest named Sukracharya. Sukracharya is generally the guru of all the demons. 1 minute. So Sukracharya, he was the guru of the demons, and he had 2 sons. One was Sanda and Amarka. So Sukracharya is basically a Brahmana, and Brahmana should never encourage demons. He shouldn't have been the guru of Hiranyakashipu, because Hiranyakashipu was a demon, and he was always thinking against Lord Krishna. Who are Brahmanas? Brahmanas are someone who is always helping others to remember Krishna, not for helping someone to kill Krishna, or to do destruction. So Sukracharya, there is also a very nice meaning of Sukracharya. Shukracharya is one who is always thinking of enjoying the benefits, and also he wanted all the benefits to help his descendants or his sons. So a Brahmana never thinks about himself. He doesn't earn money, for himself. A Brahmana is someone who gives education, and at the same time he shows us who is God. This is actually a Brahmana. Not Brahmana who earns money and puts it in his pocket for his livelihood. Traditionally, this was what a Brahmana was. So Sukracharya's 2 sons, that is Sanda and Amarka, so they were the teachers of Prahlad Maharaj. So Hiranyakashipu, what he told? He told this, take this boy, this child Prahlad, and let him go, and please teach him everything for making him the best demon as possible. So this is what a father is teaching his son. So what does Sukracharya and so Amarka and Sanda do? They immediately very happy that they're getting a very nice intelligent child to teach them about all the worldly activities. So immediately what they do? They immediately start teaching him all the economic development and about different activities, how you can be the best demon. So teaching all this, Prahlad Maharaj was not happy. He was telling that, why should I learn all this? Because once I thinking about, how to do something material, then I will surely gain lot of enemies. And I don't want enemies. Why? Because Krishna is there in everybody's heart. Why I should have enemies? I should have, everybody should be my friend. So why should I think of all, why should I learn all these subject matters which do not help me think about Krishna? So he immediately, what happens after nicely training this child, Prahlad Maharaj, this Chanda and Amarka, what they do, they immediately present this child to Hiranyakashipu and says that we have taught him few things. So, why don't you test him and see what he has learned? So immediately Hiranyakashipu is so happy that his son is learning, doing well in school. Immediately he pats the child and makes him sit in his lap. And say, oh my child, what did you, sometimes your parents also ask, no, today what did you learn in school? So similarly, Hiranyakashipu is asking his son, Prahlad. So Prahlad, what you learned? So what did Prahlad say? He says that I learned in my school that whatever, if a person is born in this world, in this material world, then naturally he's into a well or full of suffering. Because if you're born in this world, you're not going to be happy. You're going to be always in suffering. And so only Vishnu can give us happiness. So a person who always thinks of Vishnu, only he can become happy. Otherwise, everybody is suffering in this material world. And hearing this, Hiranyakashipu got so angry. First of all, Vishnu, that word itself, doesn't like, because Vishnu killed his brother. And he wanted to become really as strong as Lord Vishnu. But it's not possible, right? So what happened? He got very angry. Immediately he called the teachers, Sanda and Amarka, and he scolded them. You foolish, you just acted be like good Brahmanas, but you have just, got influenced by Lord Vishnu. And so you better go and teach my son properly, otherwise I will slay you. I will kill you. So Sanda and Amarka said, and he also says that be protected. Make sure that my son is protected in school. Otherwise, there might be some demigod who has disguised himself in the form of a devotee and he's spoiling my child. Please have a look at that, So immediately Sanda and Amarka, they go back, take Prahlad Maharaj back, and they start again shouting at them. How did you get this knowledge, We are teaching you something and you're talking about Lord Vishnu. You foolish boy. How can you do that? So immediately they say that, if you don't learn properly, then we will bring a stick and beat you, So they threatened Prahlad Maharaj. So immediately what they do, again, they start teaching him so much. They start teaching him everything about different, activities of material world. And they don't want him to think about Krishna, because once you think about Krishna, you'll become a devotee, right? So they tried to make him forget about Lord Krishna by teaching him different things. But what they do after so much of preparation, again they bring him back to Hiranyakashipu. So then they thought, okay, this time, Prahlad is going to do the best. We're not afraid. We have taught him enough. And then again they go back to Hiranyakashipu. And they nicely dress him up. And then he is presented before Hiranyakashipu. And then what happens? Hiranyakashipu is asking, oh, my dear child. So this time I think you have learned your lessons very nicely. So come here and tell me, what have you learned? So again, what Prahlad Maharaj said. Prahlad Maharaj says that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And whoever takes shelter of Lord Krishna, they will be very intelligent. They will be they will be protected by Lord Krishna. And he is the supreme. And that's it. You can see this Hiranyakashipu's eyes become, like red. All his teeth are, is holding like a demon, and then he gets so angry. Immediately he pushes his child down, and he says that this child, is not going to listen to us. He is a devotee of Lord Vishnu, and he calls the guards and says, I do not want this child of mine. Just kill him. Any father will do that, kill his son. But he was such a great demon, greatest demon, that he said, I just don't want this child of mine. I just want to kill him. So immediately, all the guards, they thought that best, we better kill this child. Otherwise, this child is going to become the greatest devotee of Lord Krishna. And they do not want that, right? So what happened? What they did, Hiranyakashipu immediately called his servants, and then they started, tridents, sharp tridents. They started poking Prahlad Maharaj. And then it was not possible. Prahlad Maharaj was a great devotee of Lord Krishna. And Krishna always protects his devotees, right? So what happened? Prahlad immediately closed his eyes, and then he was saying, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this is how Prahlad Maharaj was completely, so nothing could hurt him. Then they saw, oh my God, these tridents are not helping. So what we'll do, we'll just put him below some mad elephants, and these elephants will stamp him and kill him. So immediately they took him to where the elephants are there. They pushed him there, but nothing happened. No elephant actually could touch him, because Prahlad Maharaj was in complete transcendental position, that he was thinking about Lord Narayana and he was chanting his names. Then what they did, it was not possible. So what he did, immediately what they did, they took him to a big mountain and they just threw him from the mountain. But you thought Prahlad Maharaj will die? No. There Vishnu came and he held Prahlad Maharaj with his two hands, because Prahlad Maharaj was a devotee, right? Then they said, okay, this is also not possible. So we'll bring about fearful snakes, who can bite Prahlad Maharaj, and he will poison his snakes. And again, Prahlad Maharaj was in constant thought of Lord Vishnu. He was chanting his names continuously, that nothing could, this one. Then what they did, they immediately, administered poison in his milk, and they gave that poisonous milk, that this poison will surely kill Prahlad. It's not possible to, it's not possible that he'll be alive. Then again, Prahlad Maharaj drank the milk thinking about Krishna. Then nothing could happen. They tried so many ways. They threw heavy stones on him. They actually, they put him on fire. But nothing could touch Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was just chanting, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So chanting, this name protected him completely, and Prahlad Maharaj was completely safe. So see this, Hiranyakashipu got really, he got really upset. He said that this is, this boy is completely a product of Lord Vishnu. He's immortal. Nothing can kill him, looks like. And he was so upset. He didn't know what to do. And, so there, Sanda and Amarka, they come and they say that, oh, what we will do is we'll just leave him for now. We'll not kill him for now, because it's not possible to kill him. So they say, let him be a part of the school. As and when he keeps listening to us and when he grows up, I'm sure he will change. So they assured Hiranyakashipu that for now, just be cool, don't worry. So they take him back to school. They start teaching him. But what Prahlad? So one day, what happened in school? This Sanda and Amarka, they went for lunch. When they went for lunchtime, what Prahlad Maharaj did, he started preaching to all his friends, all his demon friends. So these demon friends were young, so they were not completely like, real demons. They were, taught, yet they were, in the process of becoming big demons. So what he did, Prahlad Maharaj taught them this shloka, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, which I taught you today. And then he also told them that, see, this material world is full of suffering. And he told them that only by chanting Krishna's name can we all be happy. And slowly he preached to them. And one day what happened, by preaching, they all became devotees. And they all asked Prahlad Maharaj, see, we also are going to the same school like you. How is that you know so much about Lord Krishna and we do not know? From where you got this wonderful knowledge? So then Prahlad Maharaj says that this knowledge, I learned it when I was in the stomach of my mother. How? So they all were asking, how is that possible? So Prahlad Maharaj said that when, my father was doing tapasya, all the demigods, they became so afraid that the child, the child on Hiranyakashipu's womb, that is Prahlad mother's name is Kayadu. So this Kayadu, in her womb, the demigods thought that this child is also going to be a big demon like Hiranyakashipu. So what we will do is we'll kill this mother now itself. So the child will also die and we will not get a demon like this, like Hiranyakashipu. So when Hiranyakashipu was doing penance, they went and they were about to kill Kayadu. They were dragging her with her hair, all the demigods, and they thought that better we kill her. But that time Narad Muni came. And they said that, oh, what are you doing? You are killing an innocent lady. At the same time, don't think that this child in the womb is going to be a big demon. This is a great Vaishnava who is being born in the womb of Kayadu. So please leave her. And what Narad Muni did, he said to Kayadu that don't worry, you come to my ashram and you stay there till your husband comes back. I will give you protection. So what happens? Kayadu comes and stays in Narad Muni's ashram, and Narad Muni starts preaching to Kayadu about Lord Krishna, about Lord Vishnu. So hearing Prahlad Maharaj in the stomach of the mother, he learns everything, gets all the spiritual knowledge from Narad Muni. So Narad Muni is actually a spiritual master of Prahlad Maharaj. See, this is another thing we can learn, that many people think that the child in the womb doesn't hear anything, doesn't know anything. But no, the child at every stage is hearing to whatever the parents are doing, whatever they can hear, whatever the mother is doing, we can actually know. That's why it's best that whenever a lady is pregnant, she hears a lot. They say, no, hear a lot of music, hear a lot of shlokas. Then when you hear all this, then child born is very nice and very peaceful. So similarly, see, Prahlad Maharaj just learning all this in the womb, he was having such wonderful qualities. So what happens? So this is how Prahlad Maharaj learned all these things in the womb of his mother, and he could teach his friends. So what happens? So all the friends become completely, joyful and very happy, chanting the holy name. So one day they all started doing kirtan in the school, and see, suddenly Shanda and Amarka, they come there, and they are getting completely frightened. What is this? Prahlad Maharaj is changing all his friends also to devotees. He said, oh my God, this is big problem. So let's go to Hiranyakashipu and inform him that what had happened today in school. So when he goes and informs Hiranyakashipu calls his son immediately, Prahlad Maharaj. And he says, oh, what do you think? You think that, you are very great, that Vishnu is the Supreme Lord? So then Prahlad Maharaj says to father, yes, father, Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he is there in my heart. He is in your heart. He is there everywhere. So please surrender to Lord Krishna. He is the Supreme Lord. Then, Hiranyakashipu is saying, oh, you are trying to be very smart and you are teaching me that I have to think of Lord Vishnu. Oh, you are such a small child, what do you know? And he said, Lord Vishnu is not the Supreme. I am the Supreme Lord, and Vishnu can never be the Supreme. I am the so powerful. So he was so proud of his power. He thought that no one can do anything to him. So what happens? He says, I'm the strongest, not Lord Vishnu. And you, small child, you think that Vishnu is everywhere. See, I'm going to kill you now and I'm going to break this pillar, and let me see that Vishnu comes out and protects you. So what he takes his big, trident and, he tries to, his club, and he hits the pillar. And when he hits this pillar, who comes out? Lord Nrsimhadev comes out. Nrsimha Bhagavan ki jai. So Lord Nrsimha comes out and he is so huge, and he is half man and his face half lion. Half his face is in the form of a lion and his half body is like a man. And he's got huge nails, sharp teeth, long hair, and looks, I've seen lion's face, right? So completely fear.
Ma'am, sharp nails also, ma'am.
Yes, sharp nails, chisel, like we just read the song, right? The meaning of the song. So completely fearful and huge, huge. And seeing this, Hiranyakashipu completely got scared and frightened, and the demigod, seeing this beautiful form of Nrsimhadev, they said, alas, the time of death has come for Hiranyakashipu. And seeing this, Hiranyakashipu immediately took all his weapons and started fighting. And he was looking like a tiny bee in front of the huge form of the Lord. But still, he wanted to fight and show his strength and power. He didn't want to give up. So Hiranyakashipu started fighting, taking his sword and hitting it. And like, a wasp, Nrsimhadev did like this, and he then flew and fell down. And still again, he started gaining his strength and again started fighting, with Nrsimhadev. So Nrsimhadev, for some time, like a game he was playing, but at finally what happened? He immediately took Hiranyakashipu and he kept him in his lap, because Brahma gave the boon that he cannot be killed up or down, in the ground or in the sky. So what Nrsimhadev did, he kept him in his lap, and then he also gave the boon that he will not kill by any weapon. So Nrsimhadev, what he did, he used his fingers, nails. So it's no weapon, and not by animal, not by human. So it was half man, half lion. Not in the day, not in the night. So then he killed him in the evening. And then he said that, so Nrsimha, and then not inside, outside. So I just in the, in the house, in front of the house, not outside, not inside, in between. Nrsimhadev kept him in his lap and tore his body, teared his stomach and removed all the intestines. See, he's like an animal. So naturally, how an animal kills another, how the lion kills an animal. Just like that, he tore Hiranyakashipu to pieces. and completely Nrsimhadev was so angry. His anger couldn't be controlled because what he did, because Hiranyakashipu actually, he insulted his greatest devotee. So one thing we should always remember, I also told you in the story of Ambarish Maharaj, if you remember that, just by, hurting a devotee of Lord Krishna, Krishna never takes it very lightly. You might even offend the Lord, that Krishna will he will let go. But if you, offend a devotee of the Lord, Krishna gets so angry that, he can do just anything to kill that particular person. So always remember, never, hurt any devotee or make fun of any devotee. Maybe a devotee may not look beautiful, or maybe he does, his bodily features also don't, may look funny, but still we should never make fun of a Vaishnava. Vaishnava is a topmost person. Only with the blessing of a Vaishnava, we can develop love for God. So always remember that we should always never hurt a Vaishnava. So see, Nrsimhadev was so angry because Hiranyakashipu actually hurt the Vaishnava Prahlad Maharaj. So immediately what happens? Immediately Hiranyakashipu is so angry that everybody, all the demigods, all the kinnaras, they are telling different prayers. They were so happy when he killed Hiranyakashipu. But at the same time, they were so afraid. Each one was saying their prayer, but staying very far away, because there's such a fearful incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So they asked Lakshmi Devi, why don't you go in the front, and pacify Lord Nrsimhadev. But she said, this personality I've never seen in my life. Even if it is a form of Vishnu, I'm so afraid. I cannot go in front of Lord Nrsimhadev. So then immediately Brahma, Vishnu, everybody, they decide that, Prahlad, you go in front of Lord Nrsimhadev and try to pacify him. So Prahlad Maharaj immediately, when they told, he goes to Lord Nrsimhadev and immediately he recites beautiful prayer. He actually takes the blessing of, first he takes his blessings, and seeing the beautiful face of Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu cools down, Nrsimhadev cools down himself, and then he pats the head of Prahlad Maharaj, keeps him in his lap, and once Nrsimhadev touches Prahlad Maharaj's body, Prahlad Maharaj becomes completely transcendental, and he says very nice, beautiful prayers. It is there in the Bhagavatam, the beautiful set of prayers in glorifying Lord Nrsimhadev. And Nrsimhadev gives him lot of benedictions. At the same time, Prahlad Maharaj, he requests that please forgive my father. So this is a quality of a devotee, that even though Hiranyakashipu was Prahlad Maharaj's father, he tried to kill his own son. Prahlad Maharaj, he asked that please forgive my father for all that he has done. So that, and then immediately Nrsimhadev says that, don't worry, because you are a devotee, all your descendants, 100 descendants up and 100 everybody is getting moksha. Don't worry, I will give them moksha. And this is a beautiful story of Prahlad Maharaj. I'm sorry, I had to make it short and finish it on time. But if you get time, please read this story from Bhagavatam, and it is there in elaborate. And it is very wonderful that, we all should really need the blessings of devotees like Prahlad Maharaj. We have to pray to Nrsimhadev to protect us and remove all the hurdles which come in between our Krishna conscious progress, spiritual life. So everybody should make it that you should learn this song and learn this sloka also, very beautiful sloka. And always pray to Lord Nrsimhadev to protect us, so that we have nothing which comes in between our spiritual life. Yes, I hope you all like the story. I made it as short as possible so that we can finish it by 5 o'clock. So I hope you liked it. And
Yes, Mataji.
yeah, so you have any questions, you have any doubts in this story, you can ask, or maybe I forgot some point, you can share, but everything regarding to the story. Anybody?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, go ahead.
Mataji, actually, was Hiranyakashipu killed in Purushottam Mass?
Oh, I don't know these details. I'm sorry if I had,
Yes.
I don't know, I wish
Mataji,
I could
even
have.
I sometimes get confused. I have
Okay.
Because in
I
many
don't know.
films,
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yes, he was killed at one point of time because there's so much else to learn that, from the story. Like, see that Krishna protects. I just tell you a few points that, see, Krishna protects his devotees. Like, see, Prahlad Maharaj had gone through so many difficulties, but Krishna was there to protect him at every stage. So that is one thing we should remember, that always chanting the name of the Lord, it helps, it protects us at difficult times. Then second point
Ma'am.
was that see, whenever a demon is there in society, it really spoils the system, the cultural system or the social system of the so, and that we can really, you can relate it to today's world, that we see so many people in the in big positions, like you see the film stars, you see politicians. None of them are demigods. They are actually atheists in today's world. They do everything other than thinking about God or worshiping God. So then you can imagine, if you try to follow such people, you can see how our life will never be happy. So all these film stars or politicians, they picture themselves to be very happy, but internally their life is, it's just a garbage. There is nothing to learn from them. Even the makeup, once you see them without makeup, just let me complete, please. So it's just that once, even if you see them without makeup, they look so dirty and ugly. So there's nothing for us to imitate or learn from them. But see, there's so much to learn from these beautiful personalities in Bhagavatam, like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Ambrish Maharaj, or the Gopas in the Vrindavana, which, all these stories we have already heard now. There is so much we can imbibe from them, that they were fully surrendered towards Lord Krishna, and they were completely happy in their life. Nothing else they wanted. No money, no fame, or no beauty. They didn't ask for anything like that. So these are personalities which qualities we have to imbibe and try to lead our life. So this will bring us utmost happiness. Otherwise, there is no culture in society. And see, every school is like Sanda and Amarka schools only today. Who is teaching us, think about Krishna, or they teach us that this is Bhagavad Gita, or teaching some 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. There is no school today. Unfortunately, we are all sent to that school. But I'm just telling you, children, that you should always spend some time in your life every day, in thinking about Lord Krishna. Because there's nobody who's going to teach us today. As the Kali Yuga progresses, schools are going to get even more worse. You're going to have all friends like asuras only. You must be having this. Don't tell me that you have friends like Prahlad Maharaj in school. It's not possible to have.
Mataji, actually, I know only Shubha Mataji, that is a devotee of Krishna in our colony.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's no devotee
Yeah,
except our family.
exactly. So there is hardly few devotees. Or it's very nice to have association of devotees. But otherwise, in school, I'm talking about that it is very difficult to find devotees like Prahlad Maharaj. So what we should do is we try to get association from our books, stories, and then always think about Krishna. So these are some nice points. Any other point? Yes, someone wanted to tell something. Yes.
Mataji,
Yes.
what is Prahlad Maharaj's mother called?
Kayadu. Her name was Kayadu. Yes. Anybody else with any other question? Yes. Anybody else?
No, Mataji.
Okay. So I hope you all learn this song by next class. Try to learn this beautiful the shloka. The shloka is from Canto number 7, chapter number 5, shloka number 23. I'll just put it in the, I'll type it in the chat so that you can see and learn. 7:5:23. So please learn the verse, and thank you for attending this session, and goodbye to everybody. Let's meet next week. Take care. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
So
Mataji.
we can just end the class by chanting 3 times the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे थैंक यू वेरी मच हरे कृष्णा नरसिम्हदेव भगवान
हरे
की
कृष्णा
जय
माता
प्रहलाद
जी।
महाराज की जय थैंक यू
हरे कृष्णा माता जी
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा